Hello, this is my review from Far From Home. Yes, I watched 2 Spider-Man movies in 2 days. Homecoming was so good, I had to get straight into Far From Home. This is an interesting one. Not as simple to talk about as Homecoming, because Far From Home had good highs and good lows. It was an interesting one. I can't wait to hear everyone's thoughts in the comments on this movie when they first watched it. The interesting showing the blip stuff from Endgame. Again, before I watched this film, I watched Avengers years ago. I probably should have watched a little bit of a recap, but it's okay. We just got straight into it. I haven't watched Avengers in years. One thing I wrote down, I do wish the Homecoming Spider-Man intro music stayed when it's doing the Marvel sign, but that went, and they just did a, rest in peace to Tony Stark thing. I can't remember what song they were singing. But anyway, really interesting showing the blip stuff from Endgame. Would have liked a little bit more of that, and it sort of showed it in a comedic tone, which I didn't like, because it's one of the darkest moments. Do you know what I mean? Not the blip stuff from Endgame, the blip stuff from Infinity War? Civil War? No, it's not Civil War. You know what one I'm talking about. So yeah, blip stuff was really cool to see, and how it's like affecting people, how people have outgrown them. The guy said, "Hey, my little brother's outgrown me," which is so interesting because he doesn't age. He didn't age in those 5 years that he was in the blip. Let's just go straight into it. The first 15 to 20 minutes, I didn't like. It just felt like a teen drama, and Ned was carrying. It's just Ned's there, doing all the funny stuff with that, with the blonde lass from the news. But the 15 to 20 minutes, I did not really care for it. I'm sorry. It just wasn't that good. But then we get into the 20th minute to 25 minute mark, and this water elemental shows up while we're in Italy, Venice. And Mysterio shows up, and you're like, bro, what a cool, interesting suit. Really cool powers. The effects are brilliant. The fight is brilliant. Peter's fighting as himself, not as Spider-Man, if that makes sense to you guys, which is really cool to see. And that was just all a really brilliant scene. And then Peter comes back, and Flash, that guy Flash, is like, Spider-Man makes me a brilliant man. And then Peter walks in. This is the funniest moment of the episode. Peter walks in. He goes, "What's up?" And he just completely insults him. And he's like, "Oh, I thought you died." So that was the funniest moment of the show. So it took a while to start, but once the film starts, it's good. Once it gets going, this film's good. But there are boring moments. Homecoming didn't have those boring moments for me. Now, knowing what I know now about Nick Fury, that's okay. But when you're watching the film, you aren't aware of this. So you're frustrated. So Nick Fury being an idiot was annoying. Do you know what I mean? The Nick Fury scene, being dumb, not being an idiot. He just felt really dumb. And it makes sense when you watch the end credits, which I can't believe they put that in an end credit. I don't even know. I was so confused by the end credit scene. I'm sure I'm meant to know what the hell that is. I have no idea what any of that was. But you meet Nick Fury and Spider-Man have a great moment. They have that moment where he puts a tranquilizer dart into Ned, and then it just does. They have a great conversation, but it's getting ruined by awful repetitive comedy. That's one of my big problems with this movie. The comedy did not hit like Homecoming. I laughed at the Flash scene. I think I laughed once or twice at Ned saying something. But man, really frustrating comedy timing moments. I know it's a Marvel thing, but just that Nick Fury scene alone, you're finally Nick Fury and Spider-Man and me. Okay, Ned snores. Okay, that's funny. Then a guy knocks. Then someone knocks, and then someone... It was just too much. That scene was pissing me off. I was like, bro, I want to hear what these two are going to talk about. Anyway, we go and we meet Mysterio, and it's Jake Gyllenhaal, who obviously we saw at the beginning anyway. I forgot to mention that. And different realities, different Earths, and a multiverse makes sense. It makes sense, and they didn't overcomplicate it. and Mysterio was from a different Earth that was destroyed. Now, we know this is a lie at the end, but you're listening to this, right? And then we get to the glasses idea, and I really like that. The gadgets are probably one of the... I didn't mention this in Homecoming. All the gadgets are probably one of the biggest highlights in the film. Really smart, really cool. All the drones, his Spidey drone, using all using the glasses and seeing everything. They do that really well. So I like that. That there was a really frustrating scene at the bus scene where he was like, he's dealing with the AI again. If you remember in Homecoming, he was having AI troubles. And now he's having it in this. And it's like, oh, you want me to kill Ned or whatever the hell his name was? Not Ned, Hank or something. I can't remember what that guy was. That kid was really bland. I don't know why he was in the film. The other love interest of MJ, even though it wasn't. Yeah, that was a kind of okay scene, but like, it's just more AI issues. It was a bit repetitive. We finally have a moment with MJ. I like how awkward they are, and I like that we're starting to get to know her, and I like her. She's pretty cool. Big introvert, you can tell, and I could tell that from the first episode, from the first movie, but it just wasn't done very well in the first movie. It was done way better in this movie. Black spider suit was sick. Fire elemental fight. Chef's kisses. And then, the most frustrating moment of the movie. Hey, guy that I've known for a day. Here. Everything Tony Stark, who just died and gave me these glasses, bro. I feel like we could have written that better. That Mysterio scene. That was just... I know he's a naive 16-year-old kid or however old he is. I know. It was done awfully. I'm sorry. I would love to hear your guys' thoughts on that. That really tanked the score of this film. That pissed me off. I know it's meant to annoy you, but that was just like, this is just silly. And then he gives a great speech. I love how Mysterio, again, it connects to Stark and all the Avengers. They're all old employees and stuff like this. That was brilliant. And how he's like a director is really cool. And like how you're seeing the choreography of the Mysterios, of all his fights, is really cool. And he's really well acted. Jake Gyllenhaal is really well acted. I didn't like him at first when he was being like, yeah, kid, like, dude, we're going to be okay. And we've got this. I was like, is this Jake Gyllenhaal? Why is he so bland? But it makes sense. He was just being just being everything that Peter needed to hear. And then when you see the real him, it's like he switches into a different character. So good. So good. So yeah, I really like some of the Mysterio scenes. I really hate some of them. The train moment was done brilliantly. And the Mysterio drone scene before that was really cool, where he's showing him all these... Obviously, Peter finds out, MJ finds out. That was cool. The MJ reveal was good, and MJ is growing on me. I love how she just found out, because he's so bad at hiding it. I said this in Homecoming. He's so bad at hiding it. Even the scene with Mysterio, he's just sitting there with the black suit on without his mask in front of all these people. What? So yeah, he's just awful at hiding it. At hiding his identity. But anyway, we get to the Mysterio drone scene, and it's cool. But does anyone else have a problem with, once you know that Mysterio's like using all these drones, it's almost like, and I know it's a superhero film, and I know it's not meant to be realistic, but the best fantasy films have realism in them. They have to make you believe. And my problem, anytime Mysterio would show up, now, I'm just in the back of my head being like, how does this make sense? How is that hurting? How is that hitting? How is he doing all this to Peter with just 2 drones? Like, do you know what I mean? It maybe just went too far. I was okay with it in the final fight, because you're seeing thousands of drones. I don't know. I don't know. That scene with Peter was really good, and seeing zombie Iron Man, it was all done brilliantly, and I really liked it. But the whole time I'm just like, but how? how is this working? Do you know what I mean? I don't know. I'm sure someone else watching thought of that as well. The bridge drone scene was amazing, and showing the inside of the elemental was really good. One big problem I have with this film, again, the spider sense thing. I don't understand. I'm assuming he's got spider sense now because he's fully confident that he's Spider-Man. That's what I gathered. He's like fully instinct with Spider-Man and Peter perfectly now. But did you have it before? Because they said you had it before. So just more questions on like, how is he Spider-Man? Did he have spider sense? Basically, the fundamentals of Spider-Man are just a bit all over the place with his Spider-Man. And that's my biggest problem in this film. The scene where Happy and Aunt May, those scenes were really good. And the scene where he's like, I'm in love with Spider-Man's aunt, where they're all confessing when they think they're going to die, was good. The bridge drone scene fight was so good. Absolutely loved it. And then obviously using his spider sense to just destroy Mysterio was brilliant. MJ and Peter scene felt really genuine. I hated how dumb Nick Fury was this film. Now, I did write down, he said he had no intel the past 5 years or something. But it turns out it wasn't even Nick Fury. So that saved it. But we didn't know that watching, so it's just frustrating for us. Do you know what I mean? Like how easily he's getting tricked. The suits are amazing. And then we get to the end credit scene, and Jonah Jameson shows up. Brilliant end credit. But who the hell are those green people? Am I meant to know who they are? Are they from past films? Are they from the... Just frustrating lack of knowledge for the viewer for me in this film. Just stuff that was... Just many frustrating things. Mysterio's abilities, Nick Fury, the spider sense, the green people at the end. Just lots of questioning and frustration that wasn't needed, in my opinion. But anyway, such an up and down film. Good moments and bad. Let me give my score. This is my score for Spider-Man Brand New Day. What the hell's this film called again? Far From Home. Is Brand New Day the next one? Anyway, this is my score for Spider-Man Brand New Day. I'm giving it a 6.5 out of 10. Not as good as Homecoming. Such an up and down film that has good moments and bad. I liked Mysterio. The idea was really cool, but it didn't really hit me. Once you know that he's using drones, the idea is cool, but I can't help but just think it's almost too unrealistic for a superhero film. That you have to add slight realism to it, and it just felt way too all over the place. I was questioning the Mysterio's abilities the whole time. But it was a cool idea, and it might just be me. It might just be me. And I know it's a superhero film. I know it's not meant to be real, but that just might be me. The whole time I'm watching, I'm like, this doesn't make sense. Nick Fury being really dumb, awful. The spider sense problem, awful. Didn't understand it. The fundamentals of Spider-Man just aren't there for this film. His spider sense problem. Why isn't that? What's going on there? Why isn't that a thing? And then it shows up at the end. Where was that in Homecoming? Why hasn't he had it? Nothing's discussed. It's not all talked about. I really like the music. I really like the fight scenes, the effects. Ned is always great. I really liked his and MJ's getting together moment. That was really good. Up and down film. End credit scenes were so confusing as well. 6.5 out of 10. That is my score.